Space. It's apparently full of cats. Hello, listener. Welcome back to Tangled in the Slipstring. As GM Chris Renshaw takes Beans, Momo, Gundar, Fudge Muffin III, and Snuffluffleket on a space adventure.
All right, so we're going to start off on the bridge of the Incorrigible. And so, obviously, our stick, Fudge Muffin, is there. I'm assuming, just in general, that Gundar's probably up there, too. Is anybody else going to start off on the bridge for any specific reason?
No. I won't be there.
Okay. So right now, the ship's just kind of coasting through deep space. You're just kind of going from point A to point B. The ship's mostly on autopilot at this point. You're just kind of sitting there, making sure you don't accidentally hit something. But what's the conversation? I feel like at this point, Fudge and Gundar are in an argument of some sort.
Okay. Well, we're gonna get a good voice. Have to take soon off to deliver the goods.
Oh, number 2, I leave it up to you.
Yeah. Got delivery 2 hours.
Ah, you better get us there then.
Other packages ready?
They're ready.
In the hold?
They were the last time I looked. Have you been tampering with them?
No, I don't tamper with packages. Not my business.
Are they marked?
As always.
Well, I don't think we have a problem, number 2.
Okay, get others. Let's go. I keep on sliding back into shaft.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know if I'll be able to do this.
The Gundar is good. I was just thinking I wasn't going to do a voice, but now I wonder.
Oh, man, let's see.
I'm wondering if I should do
Because
British.
it's such a Shaft character, too, though, damn it.
You can do Shaft. Who cares?
We all
No one's
played a
judging.
type.
No one's judging. Yeah.
We all play a type.
Yeah, like, should I go Gangsta New Jersey like I always do, or what?
I feel like that's pretty memorable.
Should I do New Jersey, or should I be posh? I was thinking about being
a posh. We can't take too long a break. I'll forget how I talked.
a poshous...
We go.
Every time I need to reset my voice, I just go, wow.
That's a good.
Yeah, there's something that sets you in it.
I'm thinking I might play her posh, and my meow is like, meow.
I feel like as anthropomorphic cats, we probably don't say the word meow.
Right.
I'm going to at some point. Meow.
You say it ironically.
Is that what you say as you kill?
No, when I see a hot male cat in the bar, I'm like,
Yes.
meow.
Start
In the milk
scritching.
bar. You can find me in the milk bar.
So we're gonna deliver some packages. And
Seems that's where we're going.
Yeah. So maybe we need to. I was trying to figure out how to get at is we need to deliver. We have we have other packages we need to deliver, but we're gonna stop off someplace to dump off our
Right.
What do we want to call it? Our I don't want to keep using the word package.
We have to drop off some
Goods.
turds in the litter box.
We got goods. What did you say?
Some turds in the litter box.
Yeah. We got to head to the litter box and pick up our stash to deliver.
I like it.
I like it. The litter box is the bar.
Yeah.
I like
Ooh,
that.
yes.
Would we have a litter box? Would we know what a litter box is?
Oh yeah,
Isn't
for
that a
sure. We
human
each
thing?
have we each have our own. We are not sharing litter boxes.
I feel like that's a human invention, though. I don't know that cats would have one.
We wouldn't have toilets. Cats would not have toilets.
Yeah, they would. Why would not?
No.
Cats aren't
Because
going to want to have their crap sitting around either.
you just clean it up every once in a
I
while.
feel like it's one of those automated litter boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Autobot.
It's an Autobot.
It's the future. We have spaceships. We can have auto.
There
turd
definitely
cleaners.
is a litter box though. There has to be.
I didn't want to do the cat, right? I didn't want to do the.
You mean like what Leland did?
No, I didn't want to do it. I knew other
I'm
people
not
were
gonna
do it.
talk with
But I don't want to roll into
the
shaft either.
words
So.
missing because that seems hard.
Oh yeah. I always have to, whenever I'm doing any sort of writing for this, like fiction stuff, I have to write what I want and then go back and edit
And then
it to make
change
it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
So
yeah.
What do you usually take out?
Well, it's more of just like substituting one word, like a one word for a more simpler word with a bunch of like pronouns or prefixes and suffixes kind of thing. Or taking out prepositions, that sort of thing.
There you go.
Okay, so while you're in the middle of having this argument, your comm kind of comes in and it's like, boop, boop, boop. You've got an incoming message come. When you hit it, you see the face. It's someone that you've had dealings with before, but imagine if Wilford Brimley was a cat. Like, I'm thinking very long-haired kind of cat. It's got like a darker sort of mustache that twirls. And this is Dorian de Meowbray. And he comes in and he's like, Gundar, are you there?
Wow, Dorian! Wonderful to see you.
Yes, I hope I find you well. I still am enjoying that fine cream that you procured for me last time. Oh, it makes my parties most excellent.
Wow, it was a wonderful year, yes.
So, but I feel I have need of your crew's particular skill set again, if you have the time.
Well, if the price is right.
Well, I don't know what the price is, but the experience will be one in a lifetime, if you know what I mean.
I kind of look over at number 2.
I like experience.
Well, you see, one of my friends, shall we say, has invited me on a rather strange assortment. On one of his stations, he's throwing a bit of a party. He claims to have a new strand of our favorite indulgement, shall we say?
Interesting.
And to show it off, because you know how he is, we'll call it Peyton. So Peyton he is quite the proudful sort, and to show off this, he's throwing a party and inviting all of his competitors and customers to show off how much superior his product is. What I'd like you to do is crash the party.
Wow, we know how to crash.
I would like to rub it in his face how terrible of an event this was, and at the same time, if you could happen to stumble around his space station and find said product, his storages, and retrieve it, then I could have my finest work on reproducing it, and it'll be quite worthwhile to both of us, if I do say so myself.
Number 2?
I look over at you, and I sort of put my paw on your shoulder and go, very beneficial.
Wow, it seems we can come to this arrangement.
So, I believe this sort of a thing, I need to make sure goes quite right. So, why don't we double the usual fare? 2 boxes of string?
Wow, that's almost more string than we can count. Wow!
I'm in for it.
Very good. I'll send you coordinates. The event is in 2 days, but based on your cart position, it shouldn't be more than a day's worth to get there.
Dorian, lovely as always. Wow.
So with this, the line cuts out, and then you're getting a transmission, a feed that's got like a whole bunch of information, layout of the space station, and that sort of thing, and all the details
up on the screen. And
yep, you're just getting like
okay.
A bunch of stuff just feeding in, just filling up your screens with different information.
Pull out a course, number 2.
What? Somebody give me the name of this space station.
The one we're crashing?
Yeah.
Port Kettering.
Port Kettering?
Yeah, Kettering.
Yep, so that's what this event's being held at Port Kettering, which happens to be, let's say, like Peyton's person, like it's a public facility, but it's one of those where he kind of owns like most of it, so it's pretty much his space station.
Okay.
Sort of thing.
It looks like there's a cargo hold down there on the station. See?
Wow, good place to start.
Yeah.
Assemble the crew.
So now, time to get into a little bit more of the meatier aspects of Blades in the Dark, specifically talking about stress. So, stress is a mechanic you'll see on your sheet that you've got. Let's see, I think it's like 9 or 10 boxes.
Yeah.
So stress is a mechanic where it's basically, it's not like your health. That it's not that sort of thing. Think of it more as just I'm trying to think what it is like in other games. It's more of a soak, if you will, sort of thing. It's a resource that kind of you're wanting to use over the course of the adventure. So I've had games where nobody uses stress, and the result is everybody rolls poorly because when you start out, nobody has a whole lot of die rolls and a bunch of things. So the idea being that, because what happens is you build up stress over the course of the adventure, and then during the downtime in between different things is you do different, so you indulge in your vices to bring your stress meter back down. It's like a resolve sort of thing. That's.
So what's the advantage of having high stress? Say I have 8 stress. Do I get to roll more die?
No. So what it is you will use stress to give you more die.
Okay, gotcha.
Everybody has the same amount, and it's just one of those that when it fills up, the only downside is you can't spend it anymore.
Okay.
You have to take some catnip to get some back.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
So, like I said, some of the ways you do it is by taking 2 stress, you can add a dice to any of your rolls. By adding 1 stress, you can assist like somebody else. Mm-hmm. There's also a like a team roll sort of roll. Like if you're all kind of doing the same thing, then you can do a team roll where one person rolls for the group, or everybody rolls, but one person is basically in charge leading it. And that person will take stress based on how, like you'll take the highest roll, but depending on how many other people fail, that person will take more stress.
Okay.
And then the other big important thing, and that's why I'm talking about it now, is it's called... Why am I...
I'm like, if it's so big and important, why you gotta
flashback.
check?
There we go. Sorry, I remembering the technical term for it, I had a brain fart and couldn't... Flashbacks. So,
those are allowed.
In Tangled or Blades in the Dark, we're not going to plan how you're going to go about doing this heist. What we're going to do is in a second, I'll do a roll that's kind of it's called a fortune roll, and that determines how the scene starts, whether it's starting like you've broken into the facility, or does it start you've broken into the facility surrounded by guards, that sort of scenario. And then if something comes up where it'd be like, oh, well, it would have been nice if we had bribed the guard so that particular guard isn't at his station, someone can do a flashback and say that, and we act out that scene. They'll do the die roll for how well that's done, and then we'll jump forward, and then like, okay, well, the guy's not there now. And then depending on the level of the flashback, I'll give you a stress, and depending on your skill roll, I'll give you a stress cost with that.
All right. Drop off packages at Litterbox, then out to Peyton Party Guy.
Make it so.
I set the coordinates for the Litterbox, which is down not too far away, only a couple hour flight. And then I already start setting up the location for Port Kettering and how we can set it up and go, get others, we go soon.
Momo, I feel like we've changed course. Do you want to go to the bridge with me?
Don't care. We go where we go.
Come, Momo, let's see what's going on.
Okay.
And we go see what's happening. And I come up and I say, Gundar, why have we changed directions?
Wow, well, we have a new job.
Ooh, new job, you say?
Very lucrative. You'll love it.
What are we getting from this deal?
I'll explain to them what's happening.
Oh.
We have string. Why we need more string?
We don't need more string, Momo, but I really want to get my hands on that strain of catnip. Also, I find a challenge rather fun.
Action? Momo see action?
Yes, there will be action. Trust me, Momo. It's okay, and I like pet your tail.
You're the only one that's allowed to touch me like that.
That's it. Okay.
Anybody else will get a backhand.
We cool.
At this point, Snuffles saunters in. He's also noticed that the ship seems to be going a different direction. And with his keen hearing, despite missing an ear, he overhears talk of catnip. Did someone say catnip?
Yes, a new strain, apparently. We're supposed to retrieve it for Dorian, but I think perhaps we'll keep a bit of it for ourselves. What say you, crew?
Oh my. You've certainly got my interest.
Try some, I will.
I'm very excited to try this.
So, before we get into the actual roll, one thing I do have to say is we do need an overall tact for the mission, as in, how do you want to go about, like, does everybody want to do the sabotaging the cargo areas to find it? Do some people want to actually go into the party itself? That sort of piece. How approach-wise do you want to get into this?
I feel like Momo and probably Snuffles could go into the party and like start a fight.
Yeah. Because we're supposed to crash it. Absolutely.
And then the other three can be sneaky and go try and steal the catnip.
Yeah, I think I'm more hunting down where it might be. I think I'm good at finding the stash and then getting to the ship and getting us out of there is really I don't want to get in any kind of fights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Snuffles can hold his own.
I've heard this strain is called feline good. I really want to try it.
Now I have to write that down.
Google helped me out there.
Is that good with an E at the end?
Oh,
No, it's
there
just-
it is.
no, it's just
there it
whatever.
is.
Yeah, I don't know. I could try to be sneaky in the party and meet up with you guys if you come, like let you in from the cargo hold or like something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe you might need to infiltrate or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could be like an I'm very posh. I can blend in at a party.
Yeah, like you could go in first and let us know when we should come in.
I
And
have
break
connections. Yes.
and scout out to see when the other two can go towards the cargo hold.
Scouting.
So who's
is what I do.
going to the party and who's going to be?
I'm not going
Beans
Me
and
neither.
Momo. Momo will come with me.
Okay.
Momo and Snuffles are going to go to the party. Beans will go first to the party and then tell us when to come in, and then we'll Snuffles and Momo will create the ruckus and disrupt the party at the right time for the other two, for Fudge, Muffin, and Gundar to get away.
Okay. So Gundar and Fudge Muffin are going to be the primary ones looking for stuff.
Yeah, and Beans will be like the liaison between the two groups.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
Beans is gonna get the inside know, pass along any information, distract, divert, whatever she's got to do. Yeah.
All right. This is when we're going to get into what Blades in the Dark calls clocks, but I'm just going to call basically it's your meters basically. So we're going to do 6 for all of these. So I'm going to have basically die here. So one die is going to be finding getting into the stash, like finding and getting into the stash, and that'll start at 6. And then the other one, that's your good goal basically. And then the other one, which is your bad goal, is basically the cops called, and that one's going to start at 6 too.
And so, like, your actions will
tick down both of those.
either one down. Okay, cool.
Correct.
Cool.
Depending on how bad you do.
Sure.
So with that, we'll do our fortune roll to see how you start. So you always get, and I'm going to roll. This is the only time I will roll. So we're going to give you 1 die for just sheer luck is the way it starts. and then you get a die basically added for every major advantage, and then minus a die for every disadvantage. So, does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Well, he's basically inviting everyone there, so you're gonna get a die for that. Do they have the particular defenses or special preparation? Like, yes, but not really in this sense. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight? We already talked about that. You basically got a whole bunch of info from that. But are any enemies and rivals interfering on the operation? So those are going to basically net out. And so basically you're going to start. I'm going to roll 2 dice, and that's going to set your stance for how we start. I got a 3 as my highest. So you are going to be in a desperate state when the action starts.
No.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
1 to 3 is failure, right? 4 to 5
Yes.
is partial success.
Yes.
Desperate. There's so many
All
puns.
right. So we will cut to the party.
So Beans has gone in first.
Yes. Yes.
I would say before you guys leave that that Fudge Muffin would say to the captain, "Take bottle heavy cream," and reach over to his stash and gift for party.
Who are you handing it to?
I'm asking the captain. I'm taking his heavy cream stash and I'm giving it to one of you guys.
I
to
gotcha.
take
To
the party
bring in
as a
I
gift.
gotcha. Yeah.
Right.
I like it.
You want to
I
get some
agree.
goodwill
Oh.
going.
That sounds
Okay.
good. I'm sure libations will already be flowing in there anyways, but
That would most
Yeah.
likely go to Beans then, right?
Yeah.
You'd want to give
Yeah,
that
for sure.
to Peyton. Peyton, right? Get in his good graces.
So we're going to go ahead and start at the party. We're already going to say that Snuffles, Beans, and Momo, all 3 of you are already there in the party at this point.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Gundar and Fudge Muffin are in basically the landing bay for the port call of this station. However, right now, just to set the scene, Gundar and Fudge Muffin, you're currently arguing with the dock worker because some of your paperwork is missing. Like you're missing like a period where it should be something's in the wrong port and it's throwing off the system. And this guy is just you used the wrong TPS reports. And so that's so you're trying to get to where you need to be, but you're being held up by this port officer. In the party, let's see, Momo is in the party, think of like a big banquet hall. We'll say there's even like the like steps leading down where somebody announces like presenting whatever. But you guys are already in. You're already milling about. Momo sees the huge banquet table full of food and is just stuffing their face with different food. However, you hear someone being like, "Hey," and this like smaller cat comes like marching over to you, and is like poking at you, and then all of a sudden a couple of other burlier cats come up, and then the smaller cat goes, "This is the one that threw me at that last bar we were at." And so at this point, there's starting to be a couple of burlier guys being around Momo, and that's where we're going to start the scene. So I'm just going to kind of go around, and everybody gets basically an action. We'll work back around, sort of thing.
Okay.
So let's start with Momo.
So he just poked me and he said I threw him at a bar.
Yeah,
We were in a
basically,
bar
like
fight.
basically, he's saying that you offended him, or you basically disrespected him and humiliated him at this bar fight.
Okay.
Probably because you
look,
could just throw the dude.
I'll look at him and I'll look at his 2 buddies with him. We were having fun. It was all fun.
All right. So let's say, are you trying to sway, or I'm thinking either a sway or a consort role.
I want
with
to.
this.
Well, first I want to look at Bean and be like, "Is it time to make the ruckus yet?"
Okay.
And I look back at you like, no.
then yeah, I'm gonna try and sway and try and calm him down.
Okay, so how many dots do you have in sway?
That would be a big 0.
Okay, so like I said, normally you'll get 2 die and you'll roll and accept the lowest. However, like I said, you could either push yourself and take 2 stress, and that'll give you a die, and at least you're taking, you're still taking the result, but, or like, there's also combinations you can do here. Is somebody going to come assist you, basically? Because Snuffles is in here too, seeing this go down.
Right, when I tell her no, I'll assist, yeah.
Okay, so how are you assisting? Like, what are you bringing to the to the situation?
I kind of physically position myself between Momo and this guy, and try say something along the lines of, "Everybody, calm down. I've brought some special reserve for Peyton. Let's crack it open." And I pull out the heavy cream.
But at the same time, position yourself in case things go bad.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Okay. And then, Snuffles, how are you? Are you going to be attempting something else, or are you coming into this situation as well?
Yeah, I'm there for backup if necessary. And I think I'm reaching for a wrench in my tool belt, being prepared should things turn south.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's see. Beans take 1 stress, and that'll give you 1 die. And then, Momo, if you take 2 stress, that'll give you 2 die, but you're taking the highest versus your normal roll would just be 2 die and taking the lowest.
Okay.
And then go ahead and roll.
Oh, I have a 6 and a 5.
That's pretty good.
Really
Very
good.
good.
Yep.
All right, so
Why
at
did you
this
say,
point,
That was a good O. Oh!
I was like,
Yay!
I'm expecting
I have
this
a 6 and a 5.
Oh,
Well,
I
yeah.
rolled a
Oh, wow,
20.
I actually rolled well.
Yeah. All right, so this won't affect your 2 meters, basically, but what it does is it brings you from a desperate position to more of a normal. Things are going in your
Yes.
favor, which
Yeah,
the positions are basically like when things go bad, how bad do they go?
Okay.
That's kind of what your things are. So at this point, one of the burlier guys is more like, "Hey, boss, I mean, there isn't a bar in this sector where somebody hasn't thrown you around. I mean, hell, Patches over here threw you at the other bar." And the other guy's like, "I swear I thought he was a different person. I'm sorry. How many times do I have to apologize?" And at this point, his guards see his guys, his muscle, see the cream, and they just snatch it, and they're just downing it, not even pouring. You've got you're still holding glasses in your hand, but they just snatch the cream itself and are just drinking it straight.
I look over at Snuffles and Momo and I say, "Don't tell the captain Peyton never saw a drop of that."
What cream?
So now we'll flash to the port, where we've got Gundar and Fudge Muffin. So who wants to go first here?
So I'll have the paper.
Okay, or the little tablet, basically.
As the pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be going in and I'll be, touching the paper and looking at the guy who's giving me the problem. Paperwork, fine. You're confusing here. And then I'm going to take inside of my paw, I sort of slide out this little plastic package that's got a little bit of catnip in it. And I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to say, paperwork, fine, right?
All right. So what type of approach are you thinking here? Is that are you swaying or consorting?
I think sway would be probably most appropriate, but I'm going to try to consort since I have a dot in consort.
Okay.
And I think I'm reading this guy right because I want to see if he looks like the kind of guy, lowly dock worker guy that might want to get his stress level down a little bit.
Okay. So at this, you're just kind of like, hey, it's the end of the week. Let's we don't have to argue about this. Let's just relax.
Yes. Yeah, if there's a party going on, we don't need this kind of. You don't want to bother your bosses over something like this.
So, what do you have in consort?
I have 1 dot in consort.
Okay. So does Gundar want to help with this at all, or how is he approaching this?
Yeah, I can try. Can you remind me what the command skill is kind of about?
I mean, the command is just basically you ordering
As it reads.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, I mean, I would kind of like to leverage that command, almost like an intimidate, into this guy, like, accepting. I was like, yeah, see, everything is in order. I would accept the paperwork.
So we'll get to that after. So then we'll let let him roll first, and then if he goes poorly, you can then
Okay.
command.
Okay, so I'm
You're
rolling
just rolling one die, unless you're pushing yourself to get the second die.
Oh, I'm going to push
Okay,
myself.
so then take 2 stress.
2 stress? Okay. Yeah, this is important. I don't want to have to
Just
take
picturing a cat stressing out over this is funny. I love it.
Yeah, I'm starting to, my hair's raised a little bit on my back. My tail sort of was moving around, but now it's stopped because I'm under a little bit of pressure here. So.
Claws are starting to come out.
At a 5 and a 4.
All right, so you succeed, but there is a disadvantage-ish. Let's see.
He wants more.
Yeah.
So no, well, here's what it is. You do succeed, but he's like, no, not here. We can't. There's cameras, and he's like, come on, let's go to the break room. It's a more comfortable environment. So he's leaving you alone, but he's also pulling you away from where you need to be going.
Okay, I'll look back at the captain. I'll sort of slide the package back into my pouch. And look back and sort of give him raise my shoulders up a little bit, like, I gotta do this. I don't have anything else I can do.
That noise was so good.
And follow along.
All right, but I will click down your finding the stash down to a 5, just since you are forward progressing. You're at least Gundar at least is free to kind of go about at this point.
Okay.
So then with that, since Gundar didn't have to do his intimidation so what are you going to be doing at this point?
So, like, as prep for this, would we have, like, I mean, you said it's like kind of this public space station, despite it being majority of it owned by Peyton, but like we would be able to like look up schematics of the place.
You already have schematics of the place. That was in the info packet you were sent.
That's what Dorian sent us. Okay, great. So then I just kind of like number 2 said, like the storeroom's got to be the best place to look. Kind of where like this cargo hold or something.
So you'll be spending your action basically getting into position. So I'm not going to make you. I'm not going to make you roll for that. You're just basically prepping. And so with that, let's go to since the rest of you kind of helped, but Snuffles, what are you doing at this point? So we'll start over basically with Snuffles at this point.
So has our little mini altercation resolved?
Sort of. Like, they're enjoying the milk sort of thing, but there's no immediate threat.
Okay. Around the room, are there like tables set up with, different drinks and hors d'oeuvres and whatnot?
So it's more, think like the high top bar tables are kind of scattered around and everybody's kind of standing around in different clusters. And then there are waiters and waitresses with coming around with different drinks. And so occasionally somebody's like raising their finger and ordering something specific, and they run off and come back with a glass.
Does there seem to be any clusters of folks that look more hoity-toity than perhaps the rest? Maybe some VIPs that are...
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely some that are more like everybody's kind of dolled up, but there is definitely one section on the opposite side from the stairway that kind of leads down where everybody's being entranced. There is a roped off section that's got 2 guards standing at it, and that's only a few of the very wealthiest people, which we're going to say string is the currency here. That's why I said the 2 boxes of string.
Okay.
And so the people definitely with the most string are in that roped off area. And they're hunched around something. They're doing something, but you can't tell from this area.
They're counting their strings.
I was going to say, they're so falutin in string, they're roped off with the money itself.
There's just string hanging from the ceiling.
That's how ritzy they are.
Yeah. They're wearing outfits made of string. They're just,
They're burning string.
they got bottle service. They got milk on ice.
They're making it rain with string.
There's just string flying in the air.
They're just all laying back, batting strings in the air. High on catnip.
I think I would like to improvise a bit of a device that will disperse something throughout the air that I could perhaps kind of walk closely to that group and try and be a little bit nonchalant, but
Okay, so I will. This sounds like a flashback and something that you kind of had prepped.
Sure.
So it's less off the cuff. So you're in the ship and you're like, boss, I got this idea. You know, I could rig up something. Are you trying to put everybody to like sleep or?
it's going to be catnip. I'm going to try and
Okay.
Intoxicate them with catnip and hope that starts a bit of a kerfuffle. Maybe they start behaving a little bit in an embarrassing way that they wouldn't usually. They start arguing with one another because they're all doped up on catnip.
Okay, are y'all going to be wearing masks or anything, or are you just going to expect everybody to get?
No, it should. My intent was for this little device to not disperse it over a large area.
Gotcha.
It should be a bit more targeted.
Okay, so you're wanting like targeting just that roped off area, for instance.
Yes.
Okay.
I want them to start behaving in a way that's either going to embarrass them or start some bickering amongst them. Just so a minor amount of chaos.
Gotcha. So with this, so that sounds like a wreck, or not wreck, tinker. Sorry.
Yes,
A tinker.
is what I was aiming for.
Yep. So I think you have 2 dots in that.
Yes.
Okay.
Could I spend some stress?
Yes, you could push yourself, but keep in mind you are going to be taking stress for the flashback, but you could also
I
take
see.
stress to give you a third die if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think I will. So
Okay.
I take 2 points of stress then.
Yep, so you'll take 2 points now, and then depending on how you do, I'll determine how much stress the actual flashback is.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your 3 die then.
6, 5, and 2.
All right. So I'll only make you do 1 point of stress there, so 3 total for the entire roll there. And so you basically have got like, we'll say it's almost like it's like a pill capsule that you've rigged up, and you just kind of like bump into one of the waitresses that's heading into that roped off area and drop it in one of the drinks, which activates it. So unbeknownst to them, like as one of the drinks gets served, you start seeing this like, you know, smoke, like not smoke, but just fizz almost start coming out of this drink. And then all of a sudden, one of the cats, you start seeing, one of the cats is actually starting to look kind of suspicious. And you actually start seeing string coming out from underneath their clothes that's actually still attached to one of the other wealthy people. That it turns out this is a thief in disguise, and they've just made an error, and like there's a whole bunch of string like coming out from underneath their clothes, and someone's like, "Hey, look at them!" And they're all starting to like gang up, like there's a ruckus being started as they realize that this person messed up when they were trying to steal from all of them, and it's now apparent.
Perfect.
Yep. So I will actually knock 2 down for that. So we'll put you at 3 for the kind of your meter for
Good goal.
your meter for, well, it's the causing chaos / getting into position sort of find of the thing.
Sorry, Chris, you said how many points of stress? 2?
It was
He said
3 total. 2 for the pushing yourself, and then 1 for the flashback.
All right, so I want to just kind of put some distance between myself and this little ruckus I've started.
We'll get to that, but now we'll move now to Beans. So now that this is going on, what is Beans doing?
So, now that the ruckus started, it's her chance to slip away. And I think there was like a rendezvous point, perhaps, arranged with Fudge Muffin or Gundar, like, or both.
There's a door that you're opening for them,
Yeah,
basically.
like we were gonna meet, and I was going to help them. Yep.
All right, let's do a prowl then for your ability to get away.
It's good for me. I got 2 dots in prowl.
And like I said, I'm throwing out things that based on what you're telling me, but if you want to do it
Right.
a
Well,
different
and I'm
way.
not familiar with this, so it's good to have the help because you read the definitions, but they're already gone.
Right.
But yeah, my assassin character comes with 2 dots in prowl, so that's good. So I just roll 2 dice.
Yep, unless you want to do like everybody else has and been pushing yourself, that sort of thing.
Push it.
Push it to the limit.
Yeah. push
it
it,
real
push
good.
it to the limit. High School Musical.
Actually, I'm just thinking like push it real good.
Yeah. Push it, salt and pepper.
I think
Salt
we aged
and pepper,
ourselves,
baby.
Chris.
Okay, so I know that song. Come on. I also know High School Musical. Okay, so
That's way young for me.
I think I just grew a couple of gray hairs just for
listen. I'm an elder millennial. Okay, so how many?
So am I, but I still haven't seen High School Musical.
We were in high school when High School Musical. You're a guy too. Okay, so how many stress do I take to get
2.
3? Okay, so I take 2 more stress to get 3 die. I'm gonna roll 3 die. 6, 5, 4.
Wow. Y'all are rolling really good. I'm going to have to like turn this a little bit.
No,
I'm just kidding.
You need a 7 to succeed now.
turn it
Your
real
D6.
good.
All right. So we'll drop your you're in position now. You're at a 2. So you've basically
Nice. Plans are going accordingly.
you've slipped away and all the ruckus that's been going on. So now you've basically you are in the inside of this area, kind of like, you know how we've all been to conventions and stuff where there's like the convention hall and then there's like the access ways behind all the rooms. Mm-hmm. So you've snuck into one of those and they lead to like the loading dock area, and you're opening the doors for who you assume is Gundar and Fudge Muffin, but when you
Yes.
open the door, is just Gundar.
I am in perfect position.
All right, and then let's go to Momo. What is Momo doing in this situation?
Well, I will see what Snuffles is doing and realize he started the ruckus. And I'll see Beans leave the room to her pre-planned part.
Now, you can one note I will say is as this commotion is kind of causing, everyone's backing away from some of the table, and you can definitely see that there is all kinds of goodies, not just samples of the catnip, but also like very expensive creams and all sorts
Swag
of
bag.
like gambling going on. So
Would I have some kind of satchel or something, or is it just?
I feel
my
like
clothes?
you've got like a fancy coat that's got like pockets in it
Oh,
that
yes.
you're hiding stuff in. Like it's probably even like, you've had Snuffles like engineer stuff for you into these, like to create more space inside of your jacket.
And the little guy that was giving me problems has been dealt with.
Oh yeah. In fact, we'll probably say like one of his guys is picking him up right now. He's picking him up saying like, "Look, boss, this is real easy."
High on heavy milk, heavy cream, or drunk on heavy cream.
Well, knowing that everything's about to hit the fan, I'm going to like quickly shove stuff in my pockets, samples and food and stuff. Just fill my pockets as much as possible.
As much as possible.
What she said. And go over towards where Snuffles is so that we can be... Well, no, I won't do that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Snuffles, when you set this off, were you intending to then go into that area, or are you just making a chaos? Are you still falling back some to kind of see what happens?
I think I'm going to monitor the situation.
Right. Okay.
And we probably need... I think we would know that we need to give a little more time to the others to find the stash. And then we would need a way to cause the commotion so that they can escape.
Right.
So I'm going to start kind of just scope out the room and see who would be the best people to pick on in order to get this going. And I'm assuming it's probably going to be those...
most punchable.
Yeah, it's probably going to be those brutes with that guy.
Okay. So the people you were just charming?
Yeah. I'm going to... First, I'm going to stuff my pockets, make sure I have goodies for myself.
Okay. Well, so there's not a whole lot of stuff to steal where you are. I was talking about all the goodies being in that roped off area.
Oh, because they're all distracted now.
Yes.
Oh, I'm definitely making my way over there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and grab some stuff while they're all distracted.
Okay. I think finesse almost perfectly, describes what you're trying to do to get into this area.
Well, fortunately, I have 0 dots in finesse. It's not my strong suit.
You're also in a good position, so if you're also in a good way. So if you fail, it won't be the worst possible outcome because everybody's already distracted anyways.
Okay.
Then you're just going to roll your 2 dice and take the lowest.
Unless I stress myself again?
Well, you stress yourself, but then you're stuck with whatever the 1 die you roll.
Okay.
Or if you've got a better reasoning for a different skill.
What was prowl again? What did that mean?
Prowl's sneaking.
Does that make sense? Because I'm trying to be sneaky as you get in there? Because I have 1 dot in prowl.
There you go. So if you push yourself on that, now you've got 2 dice.
And take the higher.
Yep.
Okay, we'll do that. I'm prowling over there. Oh, crap. I got a 3 and a 2.
So with that, I will say you try and sneak past, but you turn the wrong way. Like you hear a noise and you turn the wrong way, and the person that everybody is trying to grab bumps into you. So now you're just like all up in the air. Like you're not in the area, you're like right outside where they were, right outside the roped area where they were trying to get away. But you're kind of completely surrounded by all these they're not attended on you, but you're kind of stuck in this environment. And I'm also going to tick down the cops meter down to 5.
Okay.
All right. Let's go to Fudge Muffin, who is enjoying himself in one of the workers' lounges.
Is there any other workers in here, or just me and
there's 1 or 2 other ones, but they're all kind of stoned at this point.
Okay. And I'll sort of look over at him and go, "We here make exchange for good stuff at Scratch and Sniff Party upstairs."
Oh?
Yeah, where Peyton tell us to pick up boxes of good stuff here.
And he's like, boxes over there, boxes over there, boxes everywhere. The life,
good
life
boxes.
is a box, and you fill it with whatever you want.
I want to fill my box with good stuff from party. Where that at?
Who cares about Who cares about stingy party?
Nah, I don't care about party none. Wants good stuff from party. Give you some too.
All right. So what are you trying to get? Are you trying to convince them?
I want him to tell me where they store the stuff that they're going to give to the the rich people as they come. It obviously going to deliver some
Gotcha.
of the stuff out, right? So.
All right. Are you swaying at this point, or are you?
Unfortunately, yeah. I think I'm just trying to make him be my buddy.
I could also see
and
consort
give me
if you wanted to do that too. Sway is more manipulating or persuading, and consort is just kind of like more just socially interacting with.
Okay, let's do consort then, and I'm gonna push. So there's 2 more, so I get 2 die, a 6 and a 5.
Rolling
Nice.
so well.
Awesome.
So this worker tells you that there's actually a service elevator on the port that goes right up to the warehouse level of the reception, the convention center, or the banquet hall.
Okay.
That you can have access. So everybody else is going in through like the loading dock area. This is a second service elevator that goes straight up there.
Okay. Where they're taking the good stuff to take to the private.
Well, it's already
area
been
of the
loaded.
party,
It's already been loaded up there, but this is a way of getting up there that could kind of get you to meet up with everybody and provide you with a way of getting out.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I will tick down your meter. You're at 1 there for the getting in,
Oh,
and you
great.
manage to see like one of the key cards. You manage to you start philosophizing with them, and he just kind of starts waving a card around. And then, like, you tap him on the shoulder, and he drops it, and you manage to, like, slide and pick it up.
Okay. Is there? Am I close enough where I can go back and sort of work my way out of this?
Yeah, at this point, everybody's so stoned that if you got up and left, they'd just be like, "Hey, okay, where's that over there? Hand me some more of that."
Yeah, who was it?
Yeah. I'm thirsty. Get drinking.
And then
See ya.
half of them are trying to figure out if you were actually ever there in the first place.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to work back out to find my way.
All right, so you make your way. You're making your way to the service elevator at this point.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go to Gundar then. So the door, the loading dock door to the same area, the warehouse level, is now open with beans on the other side now. So you have access to it, but you don't know necessarily where in this warehouse the goods are.
Okay. Brains, we have to search the warehouse.
I know. I don't know where to begin.
Well, pick a corner and start there.
Should I try to sniff it out?
Be my guest. Do what you do best.
So a suggestion here would be who has, like, for instance, might be a survey. So it
I
doesn't
have
either
one
of you.
in survey.
Have at her.
Okay, so but you're assisting. So if you take a stress, then that would give her 2 die on her survey because you're both basically.
A really good captain is great at delegating, so I don't think I'm going to do that.
You're just kind of standing there looking good.
Yep.
All right, well, that's annoying, so I'm going to get stressed out over it so that I get another die. So that gives me 2 to roll if I took stress.
Yep.
Okay. A 3 and a 2.
Nice.
Thanks, Captain.
All right, I'm gonna drop the police meter down to 4, and at the same time, you see a couple of guards coming around the corner, going. Hey, you start hearing them mumble and being like, "Hey, I think I heard the door open," and you start hearing footsteps coming around one of the stacks of products.
Well, you know I can hide. I'll just close my eyes in the shadows.
Sure, but first we're gonna head back inside the banquet hall.
And that's our show. If you're not already, be sure to follow us at IncorrigiblePar on Twitter, Incorrigible Party on Instagram and Facebook, and you can go to incorrigibleparty.com for world lore and PC information, and we've recently started adding some maps there as well. Incorrigible Party is generously sponsored and made possible by Critical Hit Design. For any of your design needs, visit criticalhitdesign.com. All ambient sound and music is provided by Tabletop Audio, and our intro and outro music was created by Josh Jarvis. You can reach him at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. Happy adventuring!